Recording. Oh, that's perfect. Screenshot that.
All right, so let's take a look back at stage one. Danger Noodle coming up to the line here on our final sprint. And after a 10K breakaway, I'm still with the front pack. And as we go to cross the line, ultimately end up in 11th place. And our team on this race absolutely kicked butt. As you can see from the list, we have 1, 3, 5. I'm in 11th, and then I think there was 1 or 2 in between, and 10. Sorry, 10 and 11. So here's where we stand. We are in first place with a total of 238 points for the team, and that is where we are going to pick up on today's TTT, which is going to be in France. So here we go.
Enjoy la Douce France.
All right. So as Chief Wiggum said, we are in Douce, France, which is a fairly flat course, about 100 and something meters of elevation gain, and most of that comes by the way of the Aqueduct KOM, which is a fairly quick KOM. Now we hit it from the reverse, I believe, from the longer route, so not the short, steep one. And it is really the main feature that ultimately can make or break the race for this group. So, as I mentioned there, this is one of those courses where having more people helps. And our team right now has 6 riders, and we are gearing up to take off. And so our pull order is what it is. I'm not going to go through that, but we got 6 very strong guys, and we're pulling right around the 4-ish watts per kilogram range, which for most of us is well above our FTP, 100+% of our FTP. And so as you see, I got Scotty the Squirrel in my back pocket, still wearing my green jersey. I thought it would have switched me out, but apparently it didn't. So I ended up with the green jersey the whole time. But the team, from their point of view, sees me in my dirt jersey. So I'm the only one that gets to see me in my green jersey.
Yeah, me too.
Took that right before I started as a warm up. I didn't intend on getting the green jersey. I think I was just happened to be the strongest person in the group. And I was really only sprinting against one other guy. So as we get going here, coming up to this first set of hills, this is really the hardest part of the race. And, one of the things that if you don't have 6 or more people, or more than 4 people really, for this stage, this first part where it's kind of like a, sawtooth pattern, where it's just constant barrage of hill after hill, is really where you're going to have the hardest time, because no matter how long your turn is, whether it's 30 seconds, a minute, whatever it might be, you're going to end up where you're taking your turn, you're coming off your turn, and you might still be climbing, or you're just coming down the backside of a climb, and now you got to jump back on again, another climb, either before your turn, during your turn, or after your turn. And so these first handful of kilometers, you're basically holding your pull wattage almost the entire time. As you can see in my case, I'm holding, in the mid 200s, as we're going through, still getting a good draft, still getting, you know, kind of being able to stay in a good spot on the downhills, dropping into the mid 100s. even though we're still going pretty fast, staying in the 50 km/h range. And so we are on, in my case, I'm on the Cadex Try with the Zip 858 and Super 9 disc wheels. And so I think for this stage, wheel choice is kind of irrelevant between the DT Swiss and the 858s. I think are pretty much the same on this course. And you'll see our guys are a mixture of both wheel sets. I honestly kind of wish, I kind of wonder if I would have gone with the other Zwift disc wheels, the ones that we got from the big spin, if that would have made a difference at all. Because
Wheels
of
on
course,
deck.
like this, yeah, there is, you know, enough terrain where the heavier disc wheels are going to make you hurt, but there's enough flat to make up the difference and not really feel like it's going to be that big a deal. So as I come up for my first turn, this for me is a test of what my legs are capable of. And so I really wanted to see kind of where I was at because a 4.0 pull for
All
me
right.
is pretty up there. It's pretty hard. That is, higher, that's not quite my full 1 minute max, but it's
Noise.
still high enough to where I know that I might not be able to keep it the entire stage. So I'm really just feeling my legs out at this point with my pull as I make my way up to the front finally, because trying to start a pull when you're going downhill is, again, a lot harder because the heavier riders are drifting
Altitude
up
is
to
still
the front.
430.
And so as I continue with the next half minute, again, I'm just kind of feeling out my legs and gauging whether or not I can keep my 1 minute pulls the remainder of the race, or if I'm going to end up having to drop back to 30 seconds. And so I'm going to fast forward to the aqueduct because really, this being a TTT and our group being as amazing as they are, and me not having other angles for viewing the race, you're really just going to see us kind of rotate through each other for the remainder of the race. So I'll forward through to the aqueduct because I think that's a good spot so you can kind of see how really well oiled and well greased we are as a team. That we just, man, it truly was an amazing race. And so here we go. As we approach the aqueduct, you see, again, we are all still together, just doing our pulls, doing our best to kind of manage our pace line. Now, we do kind of get shuffled up every now and then. And I think it's just a
Good job,
matter
fellas.
of, this rolling terrain. People are going to push in and through or kind of ease back. It's, you know, a a team like ours that really comes together for ZRL. Um, we don't often race together in a TTT, so we aren't as practiced as maybe other teams. Like our Thursday teams, for the most part, I ride with the same guys almost every Thursday. I'll be on a different team this coming Thursday, but for the most part, I'm with the same one or two teams every week, and we know each other. We know our strengths and weaknesses. We do our best to keep our pace lines. So, this time around, we're all kind of coming together as part of the ZRL race. And, you know, while we don't often race together in TTTs, we still are a capable group and well matched. And I think that's what made this race as excellent as it was. The fact that we were all so well matched and really within probably half a kilowatt per hour or watt per kilogram, um, half a watt per kilogram within each other's FTPs. So we're all kind of, really at the same strength level. And so as we hit the aqueduct, the focus here is just stay together. Even though we have a guy off the front, we're doing pulls, we're rotating through. As you can see, we all kind of push at our pace, but make sure that we get to the top together. Because once you get to the top, especially with Aqueduct KOM where it flattens out for a bit and then you end up downhill, as long as you're together, then you don't really have to slow down to reorganize.
Great job,
You can
fellas.
just
Great job.
keep going. And as you keep going, you reorganize,
All right.
start your pace line over again, and then just keep rolling through. And
Take
so
us out till
one of the things I will point
17:30.
out at this point is the
Go for it.
next team behind us, which is the cryogen team. Right now, we have them at about a minute and a half out, which is absolutely fantastic. Meaning, we left or they left a minute after us, and we still managed to pull 30 seconds off of them. And so that is, for me, the focus of the rest of the race is I want to make sure we take as much time away from them as possible to make not only this race, but also create a bigger deficit when it comes to the third and final race of this ZRL finals. And so it's, these are the last few races. This is what we got. So we got to give it our all at this point. So I'm going to fast forward to the end because there's really, again, nothing else that happens between now and the next, 12 kilometers to the finish line.
Street lights flicker like they watch me roll. Suburb ghost town, but I'm in control. Midnight glide frame hums with tone. Every cul-de-sac feels like a zone. Cut through yards with the grass still wet. Sprinklers hissing like a whispered threat. Mailbox miss, jump a curb on the turn. Neighbors peeking out like when he gon' learn. Where you headed? Where you headed? Unknown. Where you headed? Where you headed? Unknown. Pedal spin with no map in mind. House asleep, but I'm racing time. Unknown. Left turn, hedge gap, backyard dip. Lit like a dream on an acid trip. Motion like triggers, I vanish quick. Like the wind was riding a stealthy trick. Hot fences low where the gravel shifts. Cats dart off in the silent splits. One dog growled and a chain link shake. I'm gone like smoke when the world awakes. Unknown. Where you headed? Unknown. Pedal spin with no map in mind. House asleep, but I'm racing time. Unknown. Got no finish line, just the wind and will. Every driveway pass gives a deeper thrill. My soul don't wait, my brakes don't squeal. It's the silence I ride and the real I feel. Moonlight trace on the carbon frame. Shadow follows me, knows my name. Goes to the street, I'm the night's own child. Every turn a chance to lose or go wild. Not running from, just riding through. This town don't sleep, it just hides the truth. Where I'm going, man, it's not shown. But I chase that post till the unknown's known. Can't stop now, unknown. Can't stop now, unknown. Deep breath now. Deep breath now. Deep breath now. Pedal spin with no map in mind. House asleep, but I'm racing time. Pedal spin with no map in mind. House asleep, but I'm racing time. Pedal spin with no map in mind. House asleep, but I'm racing time. Unknown. Pedal spin with no map in mind. House asleep, but I'm racing time. While racing time. I ride and the real I feel. Can't stop now, unknown. Can't stop now, unknown. Can't stop now, unknown. Can't stop now, unknown. Moonlight trace on the carbon frame. Shadow follows me, knows my name. No boast to the street, I'm the night's own child. Every turn a chance to lose or go wild. Not running from, just riding through. This town don't sleep, it just hides the truth. Where I'm going, man, it's not shown. But I chase that pulse till the unknown's known.
All right. So now that we are back in the known in the last 1 kilometer, getting ready to really finish this out. At this point, while yes, I am off the front, as you can see my heart rate in the 170s, I'm actually hurting at this point. I've done a couple longer pulls, and while I feel good enough to take it to the line, I know that I'm not going to survive to the finish if I just stay off the front. And so I start to ease off the back at this point, but we're just close enough to where our team captain's like, hey, just punch it, get to the line as quick as possible. So we all start to ramp up the pace little by little. And you'll see the flame socks come out as we get towards this finish. And so with 400 meters to go, we cross the sprint line and just start to ramp up as best as possible. And so you see one guy off the front start to push. I start to push up. See JD come through and start to push. Like we're hammering at this point. We've got 2 minutes on cryo. And so I wanted to make sure that we left cryo as far back as possible to make them work. Make them work. Ain't nobody taking us off of our podium spot today.
Cryo at 2:03.
And so we'll see how next week goes.
All right, guys, that was another great race brought to you by the Dirty Dogs. It was, man, oh man, that was fast. 34 minutes on the Douce, France.
And because France is France.
However that's pronounced. And I gotta say, man, great team. Absolutely fantastic. Having 6 people on this course made a huge difference. I really do feel bad for anyone that did not have 6 or more people, because this course, with all the rolling hills, with less people, you're basically coming off of your turn and up a climb, off of your turn, up a climb, and that is torture. That's hell. That's a reason to have a revolution.
Vive la France! Vive la France!
And put your monarch to a guillotine. And so I'm just spinning the legs out after an incredible race to get my level 3 upgrade for my SL8. I don't know what it is. And so I've got a couple kilometers left to get my upgrade. And it'll be nice to see. So I think I got 2 kilometers left, something like that. 3 maybe, somewhere around there. And so just kind of spinning my legs out. And so the last few turns stayed in that 3.8 to 4.2, which felt good. And it actually kind of felt like I could stay there for a while. And so that being right around my 5-minute power, I know that I could hold that if I wanted to. And so being able to have that level of power. And so Ryan Condon and I, in a brief exchange on his channel, he had mentioned how, 5-minute power seems to be kind of the best spot for Zwift racing, and I 100% agree. If you got a strong 5-minute power, and I personally think with all the different races I've done, if you got a good 5-minute power, a good 20-minute power, and a good 15-second power, then you can pretty much tackle any race Zwift throws at you. And so it'll be, races like this, having a really strong 5-minute power is ultimately what matters more, because you can take those extended, 1-minute turns, 1.5 minute, or just hold your 30-second turns and seemingly do that forever, even with these little rolling hills. And so on a TTT like this, 5-minute power definitely makes a huge difference. And then having, any sort of climbs, like the Monday race, having a strong 20-minute power for all those rolling hills, and then being able to power up the New York KOM, that's a big helper. Or any of the bigger climbs like the Volcano, or even the epic, races like that, Titans Grove, where it's harder rolling hills, having a strong 20-minute power helps significantly. And then obviously 15-second power for sprints, for finishing sprints. Most sprints are going to be 10 to 15 seconds, 20 seconds, depending on the sprint. Got a couple longer ones on this one in France, especially there are a few areas in France where there's longer sprints. And then your finishing sprints are generally going to be 30 seconds, like a good solid 30 seconds, where you're going out 500-600 meters, maybe not quite that much, maybe like 300-400 meters. And so if you got a strong 30-second sprint, even if you're holding 600-700 watts, that's going to be the average for an end sprint. Hey, there we go, level 3. And so, those, for me, that's the 3 numbers I focus on, and have helped me perform a lot better on these races, focusing on improving those numbers. And so let's see what this level 3 is about. Woohoo, here we go. Oh my God. Another 350 drops. Now what are we getting today? Upgrade. Yay, back to being broke. Let's go. All right, so what did I unlock today? It is whatever the little gear icon is. So whatever the gear icon is, I'm gonna have to, or the chainring icon, I'm gonna have to look that up. And so, cool. All right, fantastic. Cool.
Hey guys, it's Miguel from That Thing You Just Watched. Hope you enjoyed that video, whether it was topic on nutrition or racing or a combination of both. Feel free to come back. I will continue to put out videos like this and continue to showcase what you can do with smart nutritional strategies, combining that with racing, because that is what this channel is all about. And feel free to check in if you want to see more racing. Click on wherever the link's at, subscribe, and I will catch you guys on the next race.